Welcome to the Agile Primer for PMP exam students. What exactly is Agile first and foremost? Agile is a mindset first and foremost. Agile is all about adaptability and pivoting to the situations around you, adjusting and adapting to the ever-changing world and project environment. Why Agile? It's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one most adaptable to change. Agile is all about adaptability in mind and in action. Agile is based on the Agile Manifesto values and principles. Individuals and interactions should be valued over processes and tools. That is not to say that processes and tools are not important, but in terms of value, we value the humanistic side of things more. Work in product over comprehensive documentation. Documentation is important, but we value a working product more as a consumer. Think about it. What good is it to have a widget that does not work, but to have documentation that goes with it? Doesn't make sense. Customer collaboration should be valued over contract negotiation. Responding to change should be valued over following a plan because in certain circumstances the plan will not help you. Moving a step further, we have Agile Manifesto principles, and I will summarize these for you one by one. The first one is our highest priority is to satisfy the customer. Welcome change in requirements even late in development because it could give your customers a competitive edge. Deliver working product frequently to keep the customer delighted and engaged, as well as getting feedback that helps move the project in the right direction. Business people and developers should work together daily. We work in iterations in Agile, and therefore rapid feedback is valued. Build projects around a motivated team. The most efficient and effective method of conveying information is face-to-face conversation. Working products are the primary measure of progress. Agile processes promote sustainable development. The idea is to create a cadence, maintain a constant pace, not with overtime, but with what you can sustain for the long haul. Continuous attention to technical excellence and good design enhances agility. Keep things simple. The best architectures, requirements, and designs emerge from self-organizing teams. At regular intervals, take time out to reflect on how to become more effective and actually tune and adjust. That is the 12 principles in the Agile Manifesto. Those are principles. We previously looked at values, 4 values and 12 principles. Now let's build on that awareness and let's talk about the practicalities of Agile, the practices. How do the practices flow? It starts off with a vision, understanding the product or whatever you're trying to achieve. It could be a product, a service, or a result. We capture this in an Agile project charter, and we have a product roadmap that shows us how we will get from point A to point B. We then could go into release planning, planning how to release different chunks of functionality. A team charter is also discussed here because team charters guide the team on good behaviors, bad behaviors, do's and don'ts. We could get involved in creating a product backlog, a backlog of items to do. And then we can have iteration planning, planning what to do in each iteration. There's a difference between planning higher level releases, which consist of smaller iterations. Those iterations are also planned. We could have daily stand-up meetings. We could have backlog refinement sessions. These backlog refinement sessions are where we refine the backlog. The backlog might be referred to as the product backlog. In particular, you may hear this term being used in the world of Scrum in particular, which is one of the frameworks. So we have backlog refinement and a potentially shippable increment at the end of the iteration is generated. Now that is reviewed by the customer in a demo. After the demo, there's a retrospective. At the end of that, the question could be asked, has all value been delivered? If the answer is no, go back and do some more iteration planning. And if the answer is yes, then you could have a final release and closeout. And all of this happens within the box of an iteration from item 7 all the way to the end. And that, my friends, is the summary of Agile process flow. But building on Agile process flow, one of the most widely used Agile frameworks is known as Scrum. So let us review Scrum really quick. Scrum has a 3-5-3 configuration, 3 roles, 5 ceremonies, and 3 artifacts. Again, it starts off with the concept of a backlog, a product backlog. And then we get into sprint planning, where we decide what will we do within the sprint. The sprint is a time box, and within that time box, we get work done. But we need to select the work from the product backlog to be done within the sprint. And that helps us create the sprint backlog, which is a subset of the product backlog that we will work on within the sprint. In the world of Scrum, a sprint could be anywhere 4 weeks or less. Within those 4 weeks or that sprint, however long it is, there is a daily scrum, which is a daily stand-up, where 3 questions are answered. What did you do yesterday to move us towards the goal, the sprint goal? What will you do today to move us towards the sprint goal? And are there any impediments in your way? Or we might walk the board, which is another way for conducting these meetings, where we look at a Kanban board, also called a storyboard in some situations, and we ask, what is holding this item back from being done? So we start from all the way to the right of those closest to being done, and we speak to those. Midway in the sprint, we could have backlog refinement, and this is an event that is not a formal one, but a lot of teams do it. At the end of the day, we'll have a potentially shippable increment. It will be reviewed by the customer, the product owner as well, and the team. And at the end of the day, they will receive feedback, some ideas for additional stories, and talk about how to move things forward. At the end of the entire sprint, there's a sprint retrospective, and in the sprint retrospective, the team tunes and adjusts and looks for items to improve on. And some of those items might be immediate improvements, and others might be improved on within the next sprint. And that is how it works in the world of Scrum. But wait, there's one more thing. Scrum has values. Successful use of Scrum depends on people becoming more proficient in living 5 values. 1, commitment. Commitment to the goals of the team. Committed to the team. We encourage team members to be in one Scrum team. 2, focus. Focusing on the right things at the right time. Openness. Think about this as transparency. Respect. Respect for one another. Respect for the time box. Respect for the team. Respect for everything that matters. And lastly, courage. Courage to do the right thing, to say the right thing, and to act the right way. If you are getting ready for your exam, join us in our next boot camp. Go on down to Praizion.com and you will find a treasure trove of content in the world of Agile for the PMP exam, leadership, and beyond. Again, it's www.Praizion.com. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share with your friends, and you'll be notified when there are more videos like this on the channel.